This is Mycopack, and we are reimagining sustainable packaging. Do you ever wonder where your morning coffee cup goes when you throw it away? Well, it ends up in places like these, where it spends hundreds and sometimes thousands of years. 30% of the world's landfills are filled with such waste that is non-biodegradable and won't be recycled. Some of the lucky ones, which is less than 1% by the way, end up in recycling plants, where they take up megajoules of energy to be refined into final products. So is this really sustainable? We must think about the kind of waste that we produce. It must be biodegradable, energy efficient, and non-hazardous to both human and animal life. So maybe you're watching this video and you're not an environmentalist, or some people call them a tree hugger. Why does this matter to you? Well, research has shown that styrofoam and plastic packaging material can cause heart disease, hormonal imbalances, and cancer. So I believe you now agree with me when I say that we need a better alternative. And I think we might just have the perfect idea.
Introducing Mycopack. Using mycelial nanotechnology, we've produced a 100% compostable foam for food and beverage packaging, producing to-go containers, packaging foam, and our focal product for our first 5 years, disposable cups. Mycopack is insulative, light, waterproof, and disposable, which makes it ideal for food and beverage packaging. But unlike our unsustainable competitors who use styrofoam and paper-based packaging, Mycopack is free from all those cancer-causing chemicals my colleague mentioned earlier. It's 100% natural and fully compostable. This means that even though our product is durable on the shelf, you can literally just throw it in your backyard once you're done with it, decomposing in a record 3 days. Our production process begins with sourcing mycelium from rural mushroom farmers and adding the mycelium to agricultural waste such as straw and cotton husks. This is the inoculation stage. We then place our inoculated substrate into thermal molds, where the mycelium assembles into a solid foam which takes the shape of the mold over just a couple of days. After this molding stage, the foam is placed in a heated environment to stop the mycelium from further growing and dry the foam ready for packaging and delivery through our various channels. The normal process for making just 1 cubic meter of styrofoam consumes over 4,600 megajoules of energy, releasing over 460 kilograms of carbon dioxide into our precious atmosphere. Our process, on the other hand, to produce the same volume of microfoam only consumes about 650 megajoules of energy and releases as little as 31 kilograms of carbon dioxide. This is because our process works on a minimal industry input model and uses natural material inputs, allowing us to consume 7 times less energy and releasing 15 times less carbon dioxide. This makes Mycopack the most sustainable alternative in the disposable cups industry. So how do we cash in on the sustainability, you ask? Well, we believe that to make sustainability impactful, we need to make it affordable. Once the larger majority can afford to buy the product, we would then have 2 sales drivers in the market. That is affordability and sustainability. To achieve this, we use a competitive pricing model and charge a competitive wholesale price for retailers, hotels, airlines, coffee shops, and restaurants. We then raise the profit margin and charge a retail price for our household customers through our online stores on platforms such as Amazon and AliExpress. With our minimal industry input model, our production costs stand at just 8 cents per cup in a production batch of around 6,000 cups. This allows us a profit margin of 7 cents per cup from our competitors' average market price of 15 cents. So, by selling our targeted 6,000 cups per week at this market price, given our current capacity, we anticipate gross profits of over $22,000 in our first year. With the $1 million, we'd be able to finance an industrial-sized manufacturing facility fitted with industrial mixers and an industrial oven. This would cost about a third of the grant, with the other third invested in expansion into other regions in Africa and the rest on research and development. We believe that this would allow us to increase our capacity from just 312,000 cups per year to 1.2 million cups per year for the next 5 years, earning us a gross profit of $840,000 from our current $22,000. Now to the big question: is there an actual market for these cups? The global disposable cups market accounted for over $13 billion in 2018 and is expected to reach over $27 billion by 2027, which means it's growing at an average of about 8.1% during this forecast period. So although the American and Asian markets are saturated with strong competitors, a great gap still exists in the African market. Given the fast-growing population and increasing disposable income on the continent, there exists a lucrative business opportunity that is still yet untapped. Not only that, but an increasing number of African countries are legislating bans on unsustainable commercial products such as plastic-based packaging. In Rwanda, where we are currently based, the government has already banned the use and sales of all single-use plastic packaging. But the challenge has always been in finding affordable alternatives for the local market. This is where Mycopack comes in. From Rwanda, we'll be expanding sales to Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya, countries whose governments, like Rwanda, have legislated sustainability in its retail markets. This will happen in our third year. In our fourth and fifth year, we'll set up a plant in South Africa and expand sales to Botswana and Namibia, where governments still struggle to find affordable alternatives to the unsustainable food and beverage packaging they're trying to ban.
In our team, we have young scientists, researchers, and project managers. We are backed by LU School of Conservation and experienced mentors. We are more than ready to take on this challenge. Will you join us?